صلو علی الحبیب صلی اللہ تعالی علی Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. My dear Islam brothers, as you know, we've attended here Khatam Shareef for our Buzurg Haji Majeeds Sahib, who has gone to Pakistan. His brother has passed away. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Alhamdulillah, amongst us we have a Madani Qafila that has travelled from Coventry, mashallah, quite a long way, near Birmingham. So Alhamdulillah, brothers are spending time here in Fazan Medina. So inshallah they will be participating. As you know, when a person is Safar Rai Huda, mashallah, their duas are accepted. So inshallah we're going to start off with the Tilawat Quran Pak, and then there'll be a small Naat Sharif, and then a small Bayan, inshallah, and then after that we'll have the Khatam Sharif, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. صدق الله العظيم. بڑھیا صلی اللہ علیہ یا رسول اللہ وسلم علیک یا حبیب اللہ. بلا لو پھر مجھے اے شاہ بحر و بر مدینے میں بلا لو پھر مجھے اے شاہ بحر و بر مدینے میں بلا لو پھر مجھے اے شاہ بحر و بر مدینے میں پھر روتا ہوا آؤں تیرے در پر مدینے میں پہنچوں کوئے جانا میں گھرے باں چاک سینہ چاک میں پہنچوں کوئے جانا میں گھرے باں چاک سینہ چاک گرا دے کاش مجھ کو شوق تڑپا کر مدینے میں بلا لو پھر مجھے اے شاہ بحر و بر مدینے میں. مدینے جانے والو جاؤ جاؤ فی امان اللہ. مدینے جانے والو جاؤ جاؤ فی امان اللہ. کبھی تو ابھی لگ جائے گا بستر مدینے میں بلا لو پھر مجھے اے شاہ بحر و بر मदीने में बुला लो हम गरीबों को, बुला लो या रसूल अल्लाह, बुला लो हम गरीबों को, बुला लो या रसूल अल्लाह। शबीर रोशबर फातिमा हैदर मदीने में बुला लो फिर मुझे, ऐ शाहे बहरोबर मदीने में। मदीना इसलिए अत्तार जानो दिल से है प्यारा, प्यारा मदीना इसलिए अत्तार जानो दिल से है प्यारा, के रहते हैं मेरे आका मेरे दिल भर मदीने में, बुला लो फिर मुझे, ऐ शाहे बहरोबर मदीने में। मैं फिर रोता हुआ आऊं तेरे दर पर मदीने में। सल्लु अलल हबीब।
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला सय्यिदिल मुरसलीन अम्मा बअदु फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। My dear Islamic brothers, repeat after me. As-salatu was-salamu alayka ya Rasulallah.
والسلام عليك يا رسول الله.
As-salatu was-salamu alayka ya Habiballah.
الصلاة والسلام عليك يا حبيب الله.
الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله
الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله
وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله.
وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله.
The Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam has stated, adorn your gatherings with sending of salat upon me, for your sending of a salat upon me will be light on the day of judgment. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. My dear Islamic brothers and respected elders, we'll just spend a few minutes of your time talking about why we have gathered here today around the sending of Esaal Sawab and how it's part and parcel of our religion, and how the connection between the dead and the living for Muslims will carry on into the day of judgment, insha'Allah ta'ala. So we all know this, and I just repeat it very briefly. The three things that the deceased takes with them. One is any sadaqah jariyah. There's anything they've given towards a masjid, to a scholar, to anything for which is going to carry on until the day of judgment, inshallah. For example, giving money towards a masjid. Anybody that prays in there, that recites in there, that learns in there, that individual will continue to receive that reward. Number two, any beneficial knowledge that has been passed on, and that knowledge is beneficial to others. Inshallah ta'ala, they will continue to receive benefits from that until the day of judgment. And third, pious children. That pious child, even if they're reading their fard obligation, will receive the reward to their parents, send reward to their parents. As they are reading, وَلِوَالِدَيَّ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَوْمَ يَقُومُ الْحِسَابِ, in our dua, every namaz we read. So think of this, my dear Islamic brothers. Do not be confused and do not be led astray to say there is no connection with the dead. It is there and it will be there till the day of judgment, inshallah ta'ala. So if I say just a few points I'll talk through. The three virtues of conveying sawab. Number one, the blessing of dua, supplication. The Holy Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam said, my ummah will enter their graves with their sins, but they will come out of their graves without sins, as their sins are forgiven by virtue of the supplications, the dua of the Muslims. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. How clear can that be, my dear Islamic brothers? Number two, and this, just think of this for a moment. think of the brother who has passed away, and just for a moment, just contemplate on this. We will be there. Everybody in this room will not be here. Let's say 50 years time. Let's say 70 years time. Let's say 100 years time. We'll all be gone in this condition. The beloved and blessed Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam said, the state of a deceased person in his grave is like that of a drowning man. He waits anxiously for supplication from his father, mother, brother or friend. When anyone's supplication reaches him, he finds it better than the entire world and whatever is in it. Allah Azza wa Jal bestows the Sawab gifted by alive relatives upon the deceased like mountains. The gift of the alive to the dead is to say prayer of forgiveness for them. Sallu ala Habib sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Just a couple of more points. Number 3, the excellence of supplicating for forgiveness of others. Anyone who makes a supplication of forgiveness for all the Muslim men and women, Allah Azza wa Jal writes a virtue for him in return for each and every Muslim man and woman. Now, let me give you an example here. You know, if we guessed how many Muslims have passed this dunya since the time of Hazrat Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, would anybody want to guess? Billions, trillions? Allah knows best. We don't know, right? Now, there's a way of earning a good deed for each one of those Muslims. Very easy method. And this short dua, if we were to read it after every namaz, we would be earning billions and billions of good deeds. And we would be praying for them. Maybe there's somebody who doesn't have anybody to pray for them. Imagine the reward for you there. And it's very simply, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Allahumma gfirli wa likulli mu'minon wa mu'minah. Very, very simple, my dear brothers. And the translation is, Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, forgive me and every Muslim man and woman. Ameen bijahi Khatamin Nabiyyin sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Recite the foregoing supplication, Arabic or English, in both languages right now. And if possible, make it your habit after every daily salah. Let's just read together. Allahumma gfirli wa likulli mu'minon wa mu'minah. And a ha at the end, the soft ha at the end. Make sure we pronounce it correctly with the tajweed. And think of that, my dear Islamic brothers. Now, inshallah ta'ala, we read Durood Sharif as well. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Remember, Durood Sharif should always come before and after every supplication, because it stays in the skies and does not reach until Durood Sharif is read. And think of this, my dear Islamic brothers. Now, inshallah ta'ala, we have just earned billions and billions of good deeds. And I'll just finish on this one point. Once a saint saw his deceased brother in a dream and asked, does the supplication of the living people reach you, i.e. the dead? He replied, yes, by Allah Azza wa Jal, the supplication comes to us in the form of refulgent. Refulgent is something beautiful, beautiful. Sallu ala al-Habib. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to learn about our religion, educate ourselves, educate our children, and continue this method of Esaal Sawab until the day of judgment, inshallah ta'ala. Ya Allah, forgive me for any mistakes and shukr me in this dua. Ameen bijahi Khatamin Nabiyyin sallallahu ta'ala wa sallam.
Inshallah, just before the supplication, just like to mention, alhamdulillah, as you know, it's Saturday today, and brothers from around Halifax, we actually gather to watch the Silsila of Madani Muzakara with Amir al-Sunnah Dama Barakat Mu'aliyah. So it's a Madani request, my dear Islam brothers, we should prepare for the Akhirah. Like we've seen many deaths going around us, and obviously we don't feel it because we're not in that situation. And when there's a close person that passes away, we actually feel that, we cry in tears. But in reality, the world is distracting us, and we're busy in our worldly aspect of life. And this is why it's very important that we prepare for the Akhirah. Just a very quick waqia, I'd just like to mention that there was a king, and this king had very luxury things in his room. He had beautiful flowers and he had slaves around him. And there was an old woman, a slave, that was looking after the stages of a flower, you know, the flowers around his bedding and everything. And this woman, what she did is she took a slight rest for about 10 minutes. And the king got grieved, he got angry when he walked in and he realized there was someone on his bed. And so what happened is he ordered the guards to take this woman to punish her. And they hung her upside down and they started punishing this woman. So what happened is she was screaming, she was crying because she was being whipped by someone. And after a while, the guy took a rest. After whipping her, she started laughing loudly. And the king got concerned. He wanted to know why she was laughing and then why she was crying. He asked the woman, why are you crying? She goes, obviously you're beating me, you're punishing me, that's why I'm screaming, shouting. But why I'm laughing is because the king sleeps on that bed all day. I only took a slight rest for 10 minutes to straighten my back, and I'm being punished for it. What's going to be the effect on the akhirah? So when we are in a ghafla, when we are sleeping, we're wasting our time, we should at least have a balance, my dear Islam brothers. Even though we're doing well, we're not stopping you from worldly activities, but the 5 daily salahs we're missing because of our work. Not everybody's missing them, but we're coming across some certain individuals that are doing this. So inshallah, do try to participate in learning the religious knowledge. It'll be after Asr, 4:45 of Fazan Medina, inshallah. And obviously Madani Qafila is here as well. These brothers have taken time off, they left their families, they left their businesses. 3 days they've traveled all the way from Coventry to Halifax. So they're actually going around inviting Islam brothers, they're doing the deen work themselves. And inshallah, we see different faces. And sometimes we see a regular face and we don't accept the dawah. But when we see a new face giving dawah, he could be the key to your heart where you might change and come towards the masjid. So inshallah, you've heard one of the brothers that have on the Madani Qafila. And last and final I'd like to mention is regarding the telethon. Alhamdulillah, Dawateislami every year round collects a telethon, which is 1 unit is £65. For the Riza of Allah, if you can make the intention, inshallah, to help Madrasatul Medina, Jamiatul Medina, just imagine the Esaal Sawab that you do by giving a donation. That if there's a person who's studying to become a Hafiz, becomes one letter, you'll gain that reward even after you die. Like we heard the brother talking about Esaal Sawab, and Alhamdulillah, Jamiatul Medina, if you contribute to this unit, if he becomes a scholar, then each time he preaches and guides people, you'll be part of that invitation. So inshallah, 1 unit is £65. Just to mention a waqia in Pakistan, we were in a Madani Mashra, and there was an Islamic brother who mentioned that there was a person who went to give 1 unit for the Riza of Allah. He gave it as a sadaqah. He went and he had a shop, and this shop was constructed with concrete, etc. And he was under a shade, and just out of the blue, he had a feeling that I need a glass of water. So he left his place and he went and got a glass of water to drink, and suddenly what happened? This concrete shelter that he had outside his shop, it collapsed. And he goes, just because of giving this sadaqah, this charity, just a few moments of, something gave me that khayal, something took me away, and that concrete collapsed. Otherwise I would have died or I would have been paralyzed. So he got so happy and he went to give more sadaqah afterwards. So this is why it's very important, my dear Islam brothers, that we keep giving charity, especially in this day and age, the calamities that we see with children and etc. May Allah Azza wa Jalla bless them. And inshallah, I've got the receipt here, which is brother has given, brother Munir, free Quranic Pak, which has been donated for Esaal Sawab for Haji Majeeds brother. 1,000 Kalma Shareef, 1,500, 5,000, 150,000 Kalma Shareef is just the way it's written, and 36,000 istighfar, 35,000 Hayyu Ya Qayyum, and then Allahu Akbar 12,000 times, Durood Sharif 2,000 times, and whatever Esaal Sawab has been donated to me as the message was supposed to come, but inshallah we'll put that in the Esaal Sawab as well, inshallah. So if everybody can recite Surah Al-Fatiha once, Surah Ikhlas once, inshallah we'll make a supplication. Like to make dua? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alif Lam Mim. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. وإلهكم إله واحد لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم. إن رحمة الله قريب من المحسنين وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. صلى الله على النبي الأمي وآله صلى الله عليه وسلم صلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين. جزا الله عنا محمدا ما هو أهله. اللهم قال رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. قل يا رب زدني علما. يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلبي على دينك. يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. اللهم رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاه. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, accept this Khatam Pak in your court. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, the Tilawat Quran Pak, the Naat Shareef, the small Dars, Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, the Esaal Sawab that has been donated, Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, the Surah Al-Fatiha that the Hazreen of Majlis has recited, and 3 times Al-Ikhlas. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, we convey this reward to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And by the wasila of our beloved, we send this reward to the Ahl Bayt, to the Sahaba Ikram, to all the Prophets, and we send this reward to all the Awliya Ikram. And also we send this reward to all the believing Muslims who have died in the state of Iman. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, we also convey this reward to our parents if they have departed from this world. Bil Husus, we send this reward to Haji Majeeds Sahib's brother, Haji Malik, Muhammad Malik. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, make his accountability easy. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, give him relief from any torment from the grave. Ya Allah, forgive his hukukul ibad, forgive his hukuk Allah, forgive his major and minor sins. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, give his household in Pakistan, here as well, Sabr Jameel. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, give us a reflection of death also, and give us the ability to prepare for the Akhirah. We also convey this reward to our Pir Murshid, Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, our Ustads and the Hazreen Majlis and our homes. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, make deen easy for us. Protect us from the fitna of Al-Masih al-Dajjal. Protect us from shaitan. Protect us from our nafs. Ya Allah, protect us from the love of the dunya and give us true ishq towards Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Ya Allah, we have a Madani Qafila amongst us. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, with the blessing of this Madani Qafila, accept all our sincere du'as. Ya Allah, bless Pakistan, bless Kashmir, Palestine, Bayt al-Maqaddas, Masjid al-Aqsa, Syria, Yemen, Burma, Iraq, and all the Muslim countries that are affected with oppression. Ya Allah, remove the oppression. Guide the non-Muslims towards Islam. If there's no guidance for them, remove their position and disgrace them. Ya Allah, Azza wa Jal, protect our youngsters, our children from the fitan. Ya Allah, Azza wa Jal, of social media. Protect them from television programs. Ya Allah, Azza wa Jal, keep them in the mahol of Dawateislami. Ya Allah, Azza wa Jal, some Islamic brothers may have made the intention to give a telethon. Ya Allah, if they have, Ya Allah, bless them, Ya Allah, Azza wa Jal, and accept this giving, Ya Allah, in your court and grant them paradise. Ya Allah, Azza wa Jal, we want to see the beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Grant us the vision of the beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Bless brother Munir, Ya Allah, Haji Majeeds Sahab always requests dua for his family. Ya Allah, Azza wa Jal, today we are in his house. Ya Allah, Azza wa Jal, bless his family, bless his house. Ya Allah, Azza wa Jal, guide his youngsters to hold the mahal of Dawat-e-Islami. And Ya Allah, give us the istiqamat in deen. Ya Allah, Azza wa Jal, if there's any dua that has been left, you know the intention of the Hazreen and Majlis, our Buzurgs, our youngsters who are participating in this Khatam Shareef. Ya Allah, accept all this sincere dua. Grant us good health, Ya Allah. A lot of children, a lot of Buzurgs are quite ill at this moment in time. Protect us from calamities. Ya Allah, protect us from any negative and food contamination. Ya Allah, Azza wa Jal, give us good health and long and pious life. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد معدن الجود والكرم وآله وبارك وسلم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Inshallah, let's recite the dua. Ya Rasulullah وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله وعلى بركة الله. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله.